been a season of firsts in the CV Champions League. Both CUNEO and Lokomotiv Novosibirsk have reached the final four. The respective coaches are making their debuts at this stage of the competition, and Central Asia has hosted the gala weekend for the first time ending the European season. And whatever happens tonight at the Omsk Arena, there'll be a new name etched onto the Champions League trophy. Yes, we've enjoyed another stellar season of top club European volleyball, seeing the biggest names on the planet, classy coaching and the tradition of the big club battle it out in the previous rounds. But since October and the beginning of the group stage, one of those names has fallen by the wayside. One by one they've gone. Two teams now remain in what is a surprise final lineup. Banca, Lannutti, CUNEO and Lokomotiv Novosibirsk are now ready to battle it out for the European Cup. So get ready for super serves, sumptuous sets, dazzling digs, hard hitters and mighty middles. The showpiece is now upon us. Do not go anywhere for the next couple of hours. We've been promised entertainment aplenty. Well, I'm Rob Hatch, and it's my delight to welcome you to Omsk and Siberia. Novosibirsk, the designated home team, even though the city of Novosibirsk is 8 hours away by train on the Trans-Siberian Railway, a railway around which the club was dwelt and born. They've got a few stars in their lineup. Denis Biryukov, a former superstar on the Russian national team before he just missed out on qualification for the Olympic Games. Butko, their captain and setter, is an Olympic gold medal winner. Well, CUNEO, what a journey it's been for them. There's been players who aren't allowed to be with the squad anymore, such as Gigi Mastrangelo. We've seen Zvedan Sokolov playing as almost a fake middle blocker to try and substitute his absence. He's the man to watch at 70-odd% in attack of 26 balls yesterday. Absolute colossal performance from him in the semi-finals. CUNEO downed Zaksika Dzielczyn-Koźle, the Polish team, on their way to get here. But the home side, cheered on by these cheerleaders in native Siberian dress. It is, of course, a very, very big weekend. They downed the reigning European champions yesterday, Zenit Kazania, from Tatarstan in the north of Russia, in a Russian derby to get here after a mammoth 5-set match. Well, sitting alongside me and looking forward to this one, he's followed the Champions League with us all year. It's good afternoon, and good evening even, to Jonathan Harris-Bass.
Well, thank you very much, Rob, and we sit here in expectation of what is to unfold in front of us. You've already mentioned Zvedan Sokolov, the Bulgarian, 24 years of age. He's able to get up to 3.59 meters when he's spiking. The man who potentially could upset his tilt on the way to becoming MVP for this tournament is Lokomotiv's Marcus Nilsson, the Swedish international, 30 years of age, is able to get a little bit higher, 3.60 meters on his spike reach. He stands 2 meters and 8 centimeters tall. He's in his first season out here, having previously played for Piacenza, Iraklis, Paris and Giola as well. His only previous CV Champions League experience, though, had come with the Greek club Iraklis. So the Swedish international making his Champions League bow this season for Novosibirsk, after they, of course, debuted in the competition last year. Scored 24 points yesterday, and although he committed a few uncharacteristic, unforced errors on some big points in the sets that were lost by Novosibirsk, he really came to the fore in those sets won by them. He's a left-hander, and as a consequence he offers them something slightly different, and it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what he can offer here. Denis Biryukov, Ilya Zhilin, Alexander Butko, Valentin Golubev and Alexander Gursulyuk are the main guns for Novosibirsk. Antonov, Ungapet, Depandis, Weissmans, Koch, Gervich and Sokolov lining up, likely to be lining up anyway for CUNEO, and it's that matchup between Gervich and Butko which is going to be another thrilling one, because both of the setters are top quality and with vast experience as well.
Yes, both setters expected to be extremely important today, as they are in any volleyball match. But of course, Butko and Golubev with all the experience at his 39 years of age. Butko's been there, the Olympic final recently, of course, proving vitally important as he came on and helped turn things around. Of course, when they were 2 sets down against Brazil. Russia taking the Olympic gold medal last July and August in London. And we're all set to see if Russia, as a nation, can retain the European Cup. Of course, last year Kazan wrestled it from Italian hands when 3 years previous it had been Trento that had held on to it with a hat-trick of wins. This year, the Italians attempting to take it back to Italy, this time to the northwest and CUNEO. And there's a man making his debut as a first coach this year, Roberto Piazza, who, of course, is already into a European Cup final. It's not been a bad start. I saw a couple of the Italian fans in there, 9 of them, just a measly 9. It's an expensive trip. They've made a great journey. They've had an eventful journey as well, as the coaches shake hands. In fact, the Italian supporters only arrived here this morning after being stuck in Moscow, missing their flight on Friday. Delay out of Milan caused the problems for them. And they watched the semi-final on television yesterday, and they lost. I wondered if they'd have made the trip at all. But they've made the trip down and they're ready to see what hopefully for them could be the biggest day in their club's history.
Well, it certainly looks that way, and on paper, as we've said, paper doesn't necessarily mean anything here, and I think the home fans certainly should buy Novosibirsk several points, but it does feel as though CUNEO going into this have the smallest of edges. Some playful banter going on between the CUNEO players and Alexander Volkov, who was standing outside as we meet our referees for this final.
Milan Labasta, the man on the left-hand side from the Czech Republic, he'll be the first referee, and Peter Grunwegen from the Netherlands on the right, as we look at it, is the second referee. So ignore the graphic you saw there. Graphics department getting that a little mixed up. Mr. Labasta, one of the most experienced officials in the world. And this is a starting 6 that includes Golubev, the libero, had a good game yesterday. Look out for Biryukov, who has plenty to prove after being left out of the Olympic squad last summer. Marcus Nielsen in superb form, the left-handed opposite hitter. But it's the CUNEO side we'll see presented on the court first. They're wearing their traditional blue. There's Elvin Ngapet, the only man who really had a question mark about him yesterday. Wout Weismans had a wonderful match, superb for him with his attack percentage in the high 60s, 20-odd balls set to him throughout the 5-set match. Sokolov, the guarantee of security and the real star on this side, was Daniele Di Bandis, one of the top liberi in defence in the whole tournament. Roberto Piazza, he's the coach. So Lukas Diviš for Slovakia is headed on the court first. Marcus Nielsen, I know that there were plenty of Swedish fans joining us to have a look the other day. Let's have a concentration for a moment on CUNEO's lineup. Weismans was named captain. Again, our graphics operator only giving us a couple of seconds to have a quick glance at that. But look out for him. And look out for this man, Andrei Voronkov, another coach making his debut in the Final Four of the Champions League. Voronkov against Piazza. A new name will be European champion at the end of the day. A trophy up for grabs. Several thousand have made the 640-kilometer trip from Novosibirsk to Omsk. The several thousand-kilometer trip. The Italians will make themselves heard, I'm sure, despite their small number. I know that many of you are watching on television and online back in Italy as well, and around the world. This promises to be highly entertaining. It's the end of the European volleyball season. Sit down and enjoy it to the full. Elvin Ngapet of France and CUNEO will get us underway from left to right. Oh, Nielsen trying to find his way through straight away, blocked off in the corner.
Blocked off and out. This is a positive sign straight away. Big block attempted by Wout Weismans. And the first point greeted with a roar from the home fans.
Good to hear. Good sulk. Man who was so important yesterday. Lvovic is the main middle as far as the team in green tonight is concerned. By the way, I know you're watching, many of you back in Europe where it's still lunchtime. 7 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time here in Siberia. Just gone 8:30 in the evening. There's Volvic, oh, and it's blocked. Good, very good early start.
Well, Emmanuel Coit, the Slovakian, Lining up there, has a block reach of 3 meters 33, and he manages to get in there and hand the advantage here. And another big moment there, just moments ago, was Alexander Gustafsson putting his serve out. Huge on serve yesterday, had some good runs, as was this man, Tsvetan Sokolov.
76% yesterday from 26 balls hit in attack. Absolutely colossal. That's nicely down. Ngapet having to do the setting here, looking for his captain, Weissmans. It took the touch. And CUNEO with a break point off serve.
Break point off serve, 2 in a row there on the Sokolov serve, and a 2-point advantage. Not any concern being shown at the moment by Andrei Voronkov, but I'm sure inside he'll be a little nervous here.
Tsvetan Sokolov. Probably just about everybody in his squad, apart from him, it's the biggest game in their careers. Sokolov's been there, done it, won it before with Trento. Of course, the star of the Bulgarian national team that finished 4th at the Olympics this summer. That with Matej Kazitsky sitting the national team out. I mean, there's still rumours that he could be turning around to play for Italy. Needs to pass his 2 years of inactivity at international level, the Trento captain Kazitsky. Here's Nilsson, the Swede, in towards Ngapet. I'm sure they'll try to target him today. Weissmans going divis diving. And again, CUNEO piling on the pressure, 4-2.
Well, we've seen Weissmans used twice so far. Excellent power demonstrated by the naturalised Italian. Another hugely experienced player at 35 years of age.
Well, he played a lot of volleyball in Belgium in the early part of his career. Been in Italy for a decade now. Nicely done by Volvic through the middle. Divis on reception. Good strong setting by Butko. Is a fairly extravagant setter and a nice one to watch. Volvic heading through the middle, off the arms of Emanuel Kohut, the 30-year-old middle. Long and wide. Disappointing from Denis Biryukov. The rumour with him last year is that he got a little lazy before the Olympics, thought that his national team place was assured. Ended up not going to London and missing out on a gold medal. Here's Weissmans. Good, strong, venomous serve, in fact. Divis to hit. Ngapet will keep it going. Butko desperately got on the ball, goes through the middle. That's going to go long. And with Volvic coming from the back line, Lokomotiv signing out nicely.
Well, Tsvetan Sokolov looked very disappointed there. Divis has had a quiet start to this match. 23-year-old Russian middle blocker Artem Volvic to serve next. Just the point in it at this stage.
Grivic takes the touch. The Russians up here in the stands can't quite believe it. Getting a little head up. Lady of Nationalist sentiment running high here. They've had the Russian flag dancers doing their best to pull off a strong partisan atmosphere. Butko gets on to steady the ball, looks to find Divis. A little disappointing in defence there from CUNEO.
Side-out volleyball, just those points on the Sokolov serve at the moment. It's all that separates these two teams.
Here is Butko now to serve. In towards Ngapet. Locked. And that point that was won early on by CUNEO's won back straight away. Good Sayuk. Sayuk and Divis starting well. Nice high reach. Executed to perfection there. Butko, touch on the way through. Depandis, who was excellent in defence yesterday. And that is a monster of a spike through the middle.
Well, if we get to look at that again, just check out Weissmans' hang time on the way in.
Roberto Piazza preparing his first team talk notes out the way.
Well, it wasn't the greatest connection there, and Gusolyuk rather pleased when it just split the defence and went in. Divis to serve.
Golubev. Nice pump. Oh, and that's put away wonderfully by Marcus Nielsen. Well, he was on wonderful form yesterday in the semis. Again, he's one of those interesting opposites who's left-handed, much more in the mould of Mikhail Vashko, if you like, for Italy. Just brings in new angles. Now, first technical timeout, 8-7 in favour of Lokomotiv. What will Roberto Piazza be saying it?
Well, he'll be disappointed, there's no doubt about that. His side eked out a 2-point advantage early on there. But they've seen Jaksha come back, and to take the lead into this first technical is going to be very pleasing for Andrei Voronkov and his players, but it's all down to that one man, Marcus Nielsen.
That was Divis' effort into the floor. Anger there from Kahut and Gudovic, all their experience. His combined age of 68 there. So good positive emotions for both sides, but it's tight, and there is hardly anything to separate them. 7 minutes into the European Cup final, 8-7 in favour of Lokomotiv Novosibirsk. Divis will be the team that won the Russian Cup in 2012 last year. It was this December they were edged out. Belgorod, the winners against Zenit Kazan in the final. Here's Gudovic getting onto the ball. Ngapet, man who struggled at certain occasions yesterday. It was a couple of his errors that actually forced the match to go to 5 sets when you rethink the match again. He's a big game player, though, if he can bring his level up to the rest of them.
He's one of those sorts of players. Watched him practicing serve before the match, and he was launching them well beyond the court, but when he gets it right, it is so good to watch.
Oh, you called it perfectly there, John. And Ngapet then to go again. Great moment to bring it. 2-point swing there for CUNEO. Side out and an ace serve. This time takes all the pace off it. Golubev, the libero, comes in. Biryukov is blocked, but blocked wide by Oleg Antonov. Interesting story with Oleg Antonov. Of course, his father, Jaroslav, used to play in Serie A in Italy. The team that coach Roberto Piazza, now of CUNEO, used to watch as a kid. Now coaching his son. Gudovic, Ngapet. Pushed. And encroaching into that front row as well. Take your pick.
Well, he was guilty of that yesterday. Disappointment to be called out there. This man's serve can be very important, Gusolyuk. It's a strange action, but it seems to work.
Decent response there. Zvetan Sokolov then on the serve. And who said he was so frustrated at not being able to spend always the whole time on court during his days at Trento. But it's his versatility that really has seen him become the big star as well here. Of course, he's one of the most talented players in the world. Opposite position is his favoured position, but also useful as a middle. Since Mastrangelo was frozen out of the team, falling out with coach and club, he has covered those posts nicely. Talking of the opposite, this time it was Antonov over on that side.
Oleg Antonov's had a really positive start to this final so far. Not necessarily a player who picks up many of the plaudits when he does take to the court. He's not such a big name, but started really well.
Well, it's his first season with CUNEO, the Italian, of course, of Russian parentage.
mistake is going to be cheered.
Dennis Biryukov then. Disappointing and long from him. Art Weissman's 12-12. CUNEO finally making the Final Four that they've been really aiming for the last decade or so. Quite ironic that they should do so with perhaps a weaker squad than they had a few years ago when they had the best chances, as Ngapet fights that out at the net.
That is brilliant from Ngapet, because it was just what Gerbic was just thinking about taking that for a set, and Ngapet called very loudly over his head, jumped up, CUNEO pushed themselves in front.
13-12 then. Weissman's on serve. Blocked out. Listen, we didn't expect anything less than a very, very strong and attritional start from both teams. A few nerves around. This is, again, for most of the players out here, the biggest game in their careers. You could take Sokolov and perhaps Budko out of that. Gerbic this time changes the direction, goes wide at Ngapet. That's going to be too good. And CUNEO take the lead.
Strikes me that Ngapet is up for this. Not that he should need any encouragement to be up for it, but he just seems to have brought his A game.
Down. Nielsen looking to kill the ball. It's dug up though. Gerbic attempting to win the point himself, this time having to set wide. Weissman's great play by the libero. Guditalik keeps it alive. Gerbic goes wide, it's blocked. Beyond the line though, and Antonov does his job. 2-point lead. Good time to bring it for CUNEO. And Lokomotiv need the vocal backing of this very, very strong and loud crowd. Good work by Antonov. Good strong serving. Some mammoth stuff from the service line for CUNEO. They are noted for their strong serve, and it's posing the problems here. Second technical, 16-13, and the first real difference, John, that we've seen between the two teams.
Yeah, we've had a couple of point advantage to CUNEO earlier on in the set, then it was clawed back by Lokomotiv. They went in leading by one, remember, at the end of the first technical timeout, but CUNEO kept pace with them in that middle sort of section that we've had of this set, and now we see them pulling away thanks to that strong serve. You just know with Ngapet, you know with Antonov, you know with Weissman's, you know with Kout, and you know with Sokolov, you've got 5 guys who can hammer the ball over the net, and if they're on song, then they're going to buy you some points. Don't really see anyone from the Lokomotiv team, with perhaps the exception of Budko and Divis, doing that for them.
So the medals are ready. A trophy needs a name etching on it. Quarter of an hour into this European Champions League final. 16-13 for Italy's CUNEO. Their strongest run of the match, and it was important that it was broken there. Good Salyuk on the end of the set from Budko. Getting very, very high. Vertical spike down at the feet of the opposition, always does. Evident psychological damage. There's a conversation between coach and assistant. Claudio Rifelli is the Italian assistant coach of the Russian team. Globetrotter who's been worked in the likes of Brazil, Argentina before as well. Divis on, it's into the hands of Sokolov. My, oh my, did he enjoy that.
And that is another difference, isn't it? The way that they're being able to protect the wall, and Sokolov's touch there, getting the kill. And that was a point where there was a real chance for Lokomotiv, and suddenly they find themselves 3 points down rather than being back to within 1.
Super Cvetan Sokolov. Here now is Grubic on serve. Floats it cross-court in towards Divis. It's a poor reception. And here comes the counter now. Grubic on the ball, looking for Ngapet. Takes the touch. And CUNEO really are bossing this first set now. Timeout taken. And it's time for Novosibirsk to think about it.
Well, preempted there, Rob. You just know the game too well, but it had to be a timeout. Andrei Voronkov with no other option here. His team are 4 points down. CUNEO is starting to pull themselves out in front. They know they fought back before Novosibirsk, so they will be confident they can do it again, but this set looks as though it's probably beyond them.
Well, 4 points. There is plenty that can still happen. There is Roberto Piazza. We'll be pleased with what's happened so far. Man who has ambitions of coaching in Russia, actually. He's been here as an assistant before, both in the national team and, of course, with Dynamo Moscow. 18 years as an assistant coach before this year. Worked for Parma, Treviso, Dynamo and the Russian national. Worked for coaches like Bebeto, Kim, Lozano and the great Velasco as Grubic gets hold of this. Looks for Ngapet. Dear. And that's the sort of error we saw yesterday from the Frenchman.
Well, that is the sort of error that he really can't afford. He might get away with it in this set, but if it had been closer, Parisi would have been spitting about that. He doesn't look happy as it is. It was a really good dig from the Larsen spike that kept that point alive.
Divis, aced or not? Well, the line judge called an ace. The referee overrules it with his own sight. It's close enough. Again, without the replay system this week, the same that we had on trial in Istanbul a week ago in the women's Final Four, we can't see for sure. We'll see if he deemed it, I think, a little too expensive to bring all the Polish camera crew and technicians. They're the experts and world leaders in this, by the way, the Polish Volleyball League. A long way out here for Siberia, for the teams, never mind all that. There's Butko. It's Salyuk. Oh, that was close. That was mightily close. In the end, though, the point goes for the Russian team, and it's much needed for Novosibirsk.
First change to be made by them with Filip Voronkov, the opposite hitter, coming on to replace Alexander Gusalyuk.
Filip Voronkov then. Substitute opposite. Good take by the Pandis. First year for him at CUNEO's won a much change this year. Bit of confusion. That should be a gift. Oh, and it's one when it really shouldn't have been by those in green. And we might start to see a bit of a change now. Piazza thinking about maybe pressing the stop button here. Just wanders over to the timeout button. So that's exactly where we're going to go. Voronkov stopped in his tracks. Piazza attempting to stop his team in his tracks. And it's a chance for him to have a chat about a couple of things that have just been going wrong in the last few minutes.
2 points of difference now. Doesn't look particularly happy down there.
That's his first year as a #1, let's say. Of course, mentioned the 18 he had as an assistant coach. He replaced Flavio Gulinelli at the beginning of the season. What an achievement it is by him to get to the final of the European Champions League. And we're talking about most probably, okay, the FIVB will say that on a world stage, their World Club Championship is the most prestigious competition, but we're talking about something that begins with plenty of rounds, the group stage. This is the hardest one of the lot to win. Novosibirsk, who haven't been in action, by the way, since that group stage, as hosts bypass the playoffs. And that will bypass the waiting CUNEO defense. 20 points to 17, CUNEO still in charge. And they've been warned. That is good. Salyuk returns. Only to roll straight off again for the libero. Cvetan Sokolov. Plenty of pace as Butko had a struggle there. Poor organisation in defence. Oh dear, that is a double touch all day long. Oh, it was that bad. I think they could have spotted that all the way back in CUNEO. Deary me. Touched it with one hand, then threw the other up.
And yet again, it's that man, Ungapet, who is guilty of the error. Grbić with the bump, and then Ungapet. Double touch on the pass. Soft point.
It's he who fails on defence this time, and Ungapet having an absolute mare. And Lokomotiv on their way back into this now. Good serving, by the way.
Well, Butko putting that one away, and it seems that ever since mentioning that Ungapet appeared to have brought his A game to this final, that he's fallen apart.
Curse of the commentator, Jonathan. Curse of the commentator. There's a man who we'll be seeing a little later on the podium, Vladimir Alekno, coach of Zenit Kazan. Yet another bit of good serving. This time it's not put away. Butko saved this time by Ungapet. A little bit of confusion as nobody wanted to attack the ball. Attack again from Biryukov, and Ungapet is down. That's better. Weissman's now blocked on the line. No. Fraction of a centimetre beyond it. And CUNEO given a lifeline there.
Well, that is a big point. A very big point indeed, because that would have levelled it up at 20 points apiece, but instead, CUNEO just keep themselves out in front.
Oleg Antonov, as you mentioned earlier, comes from good volleyball stock. Has it in the genes. Butko. Nielsen. Blocked off, hitting from a long, long way behind the attack line there. This time he flies and fires a bullet down the line.
Well, Novosibirsk need more of that from Nielsen. As I was saying, he's the top scorer yesterday. Hasn't contributed too much in his opening set so far, but they're still in it, and they're still in with a chance. They just need one on serve, and it's all square again.
Good take, Grbić. Golubev. Volvic now passing over, and Ungapet takes over. Grbić. Sokolov squeezes it beyond the big boys in the block. And again, it's nervy, it's tense. Our home fans can sense these nerves, and the volume's just being turned up. 22 points to 20. Nobody has control of this set just yet. He knows it as well. Like Weissman's to come on serve. Butko. Divis. What a forget for CUNEO. Now substitution, and this is a man who changed the game yesterday for Lokomotiv when he came on against Zenit Kazan. Zhilin, top server, but he was also high on reception stats and very, very good. Torre de la Longa also into the fray. A man whose performance was bigged up by his captain yesterday. Talked about it being a victory for the whole squad, not just the starting six. The likes of Rossi and de la Longa coming in and doing their jobs. So, Champions League play, you struggle to find a more experienced man than de la Longa. Been there and done it with Trento 3 times. There's Depandis. Up for Ungapet, that's blocked, and it's gone wide.
Desperation there for the home fans as they saw this one drift wide as Volvic comes back in for Zhilin. Still 2 points the difference, 23-21.
Butko. Divis. Such an important point for Lokomotiv. You can see they believe here. One little error from CUNEO they will have the force with them again. CUNEO just thinking side out, side out, side out here. It's the only thing they should be in their minds. Bukko serve, Depandis, Kudovic trying to add some control. Counter-attack time though, Golubev, Nielsen. Golubev again, a lack of organisation. Out it had gone, and Tenor's wobbling. And that will be set point to CUNEO.
Well, that is frustrating because they had half a chance there again.
In comes Andrea Rossi. Rossi, the substitute middle. 2 meters 4 tall. Alongside Svetan Sokolov and Ngapet there. It's a serve that does it though. Dore Della Lunga. 25-22. And the Champions League has taken on a pattern in its final. It's CUNEO 1, Lokomotiv 0. And for the first time this evening, this arena goes rather quiet.
Well, Valentin Golubev will be really disappointed with the reception on that final point. In the end, it's allowed Novosibirsk to take that opening set comfortably, really, considering how tight it was up until that point. CUNEO taking it 25-22, and as you say, Rob, a little bit of that atmosphere has been sucked out of this arena. However, remember, exactly the same thing happened yesterday. They lost the first set, and CUNEO, well, they would have watched that game. They will know that Novosibirsk came back strongly in sets 2 and 4, 2 occasions when they were set down, and they won't want to allow them a chance to do that again. Take a look at the statistics. One more attack from Novosibirsk, one less error. But 2 aces from CUNEO, and you know what? Those 2 aces proved pretty vital in the end.
So that's how the first set looks. CUNEO ahead against Novosibirsk. As Jonathan was saying, the stats very, very fine. Not too much of a margin between the two teams. We'll go off and have a look at the highlights quickly. We'll be back with set 2 in just a moment. Hello and a very warm welcome back to Omsk. Sitting here in the middle of Siberia. It's the European Champions League, it's volleyball, and it's the height of the profession. 25-22 in set 1, 26 minutes of absorbing stuff here. The Italians are ahead in their quest to bring back the trophy. And well, you don't really want to put the blockers on it if you're an Italian. They certainly won't be hoping that that's the case, but I can tell you that if they are to win today, they'll be the first Italian club or Italian team of any nature to lift a volleyball trophy on Russian soil. So history to be made, many more ways than just that. Of course, whoever wins tonight will be the first time that they've won this Champions League. So after the tense tide opening, I wonder if we'll see the superstar volleyball now. These teams might just need to relax into the match a little now. Lukas Divic. Decent play down the line by Walt Weismans. Remember, wherever you're watching around the world, you can get in touch with us. Let us know what you think about the match or any predictions. Just tweet into @Jono_HP or @RobHatchTV to let us know your thoughts. Butko watching that one off the arms, cleverly played. Izgunovic straight through the middle. And Gut has his first middle hit of the second set.
Well, that's a disappointment there for Novosibirsk straight away, conceding the 2-point advantage. Sokolov on serve, Val Weissman with a great spike on the opening point. They're looking compact, CUNEO, at the moment.
Good leave. Very good leave in the end. The referee thinking about waving his arm to the other side. Just advised by his lines judge that it did in fact go wide. That's our view of it. It's close. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, he needs to be managed tonight. Probably better to make him see the funny side of it and perhaps relax a little into the match. Nerves getting the better of Ngapet so far. We've not seen anywhere near the best of him tonight.
And again, Ngapet putting that one wide. 2 big mistakes, and Novosibirsk straight back into this set. 3 points on the bounce.
Good Salyuk. Good start for them. They needed this. And Ngapet clean on reception, but at least he did the job. That's good on the rebound. Novosibirsk losing the ball though. Here can come a counter. Antonov not really getting over that ball. But there's the block. Superb stuff by Matt. Three points apiece.
There's some great battling in that rally from both teams, but in the end, that 3-man block was good. And Coit, the man with the telling touch.
Butko. Again, not far off. Some tight decisions on this near side at the moment. But once again, disappointing to see the nerves really getting in the way here. Promised drama and excitement. Certainly getting that. And the attention too.
It's understandable though to see so many nerves in these opening exchanges. I haven't seen so much of this man so far in this set.
Nielsen. Good strong serve. That's much better by the Frenchman, and that is an absolute textbook way to side out a volleyball.
Well, Coit looks quite satisfied about it in the end. Weissman's on serve. Picked up a couple of points in the first set.
Butko sprays it wide. And that's nice. That is very nice from Denis Budyukov. (5-4) then Novosibirsk. At the moment we're more or less close to the reaction that we wanted. And have that into the mix as well. Van Weissman's beaten. Worried look on the face for the first time in this match for Tiziano Piazza. 2 points in favour of the hosts. Budyukov, Depandis takes control. Here's Gudovic. And they needed that. Sokolov into the action. It's just a guarantee of security, really. Rarely does anything wrong. That's before you start talking about all this wonderful technical ability. Butko. Nielsen. Big step up in level at the start of the second set for Novosibirsk. Helped by a few errors at the start, and Ngapet the biggest of those who made the mistakes. As the latest tactical plans designed. Depandis. Ngapet swinging round the arm, and that is brilliant.
Well, that's where he looks comfortable and relaxed. Just guides that one home.
That's classy. Very, very classy. Just a point in it. Boat serve from Gubic. Butko through the middle. Depandis there. Chance to get the point back here. Antonov, and that's brilliant. Pace off, cuts the ball. And a mistake this time made with a lack of strength in attack, really, and will to finish it off by Novosibirsk.
Well, Butko grappling at that one on the floor, but unable to make up the ground. They continue to get the floor completely mopped up. 7 points apiece, as we were in the first set at this stage.
Butko. Nielsen. Again, measuring his attack beautifully. The Swede, the star of this team. So, technical number 1 in set 2. Lokomotiv lighting things up finally. We waited for it to happen. That's what this final needs as well, I think, Jonathan.
It is what the final needs. It's interesting just to note the intelligence of Nielsen when he comes in. Doesn't always try and hit the ball as hard as he can. You see so many players doing that, but Nielsen positions himself well, and he knows and has a great awareness of where his opponent's defence is lying. And that was a great example on that last point before this technical timeout. 8-7 was the score to Lokomotiv Novosibirsk at the first technical in set 1. It is the score again in set 2. However, have they managed to push on from this position and actually win a set now?
Well, win a set they need to do. CUNEO 2-set advantage would really make things hard. As far as Lokomotiv are concerned, they don't want to disappoint their supporters. They gave them a wonderful day out yesterday afternoon. The first match it was of this Final Four really set the tone for what we've seen so far. Each and every match has been competitive. We've had no 3-0s yet. This is the finale to the season, living up to all the hype and expectation at the minute.
Sokolov again, the man to step in here.
Eva Ngapet, 8 points apiece. Good strong service. It's nicely taken down though, and that is a blisteringly good backcourt attack from Biryukov.
Well, Biryukov had an outstanding performance at the 2011 World Championships in Japan, representing his country. He hasn't been consistent enough since then, nor has Lucas Divis. We saw him yesterday have a strange relationship with the service line.
9 apiece then. Svetan Sokolov, the man expected to carry CUNEO through this final today. Libra having to do lots of work on reception here. Touch on the way through. The coach Piazza rather getting in the way of Ngapet there as he dived to the ball. Well, whatever happens, there is something to cheer for both teams. Both of these sides already assured a place at the World Club Championships later on this year with their semi-final wins yesterday. This side out comes pretty cleanly. So we're expecting a new venue rather than Doha this year. October is the rumoured date at the moment in the calendar. And we're going to try and change it to May, but looks as though that hasn't come off. Here's Oleg Antonov. Good serve. Decent take by the libero. It can be an attacking chance straight away for a break point now. Oh, it's blocked! Wow! Right through that build-up, you're thinking, point for CUNEO, and then that happens.
Well, they read Gubic incredibly well there, the block, and it was taken down for the kill by Artem Voldic.
Nielsen, big high ball toss, spinning away as he whacks it into the other half of the court. Sokolov, intelligent enough to find a block out. Weismans. Good strong service. Here's Butko. Nielsen to hit. Very, very good. Again, he's the man that's carrying them.
Well, that was a big point because they failed to convert their last opportunity off serve. This time they manage it. So Walt Weisman serves again with CUNEO now in front.
Weisman's the second best man as far as the attacking stats are concerned yesterday for CUNEO. High 60s. Always strong and, let's say, imposes his personality on the serve. Big part of the game for CUNEO. We saw it in the first set. That's how they got their advantage. A minute, the response has been pretty exceptional. And Gapet. Counter chance. Butko now. And they have it. Big point for Lokomotiv. Divis is there. A pensive Piazza looks on. And once more the difference swings back the way of the Russians.
I think more tellingly the difference again was Ungapet.
Grubic, good change of the angle. That is pretty special. Huge leap. Nothing that Nielsen and co could do. Sokolov moves to take his position at the net. Long. Straight away, hand up in apology. Back comes Stepandis.
Two serves in a row there. CUNEO a foot long. Not exerting enough pressure when they're making those errors.
Straight through the middle from Weismans. Butko. Disappointment, anger, questions between Ngapet and Stepandis. When the blame game starts, that's when you have to worry. Sokolov. Oh, wow. Divis down. Might have just been drifting out as well. Had to play it, though. Lokomotiv have the barrier of two.
Well, a big barrier this for Novosibirsk, but they now need to see it home. Now remember, they were 2 points up in the first set against Zenit yesterday, and they let it slip. Now CUNEO could easily come back at them with their serve. We'll have to wait and see, but it's still a very precarious position for the Russians, but they're moving in the right direction, and they're applying the right amount of pressure on CUNEO, certainly taking it to them, and the likes of Divis stepping up to the mark is huge for them. They need all of their players to be there.
Krvic. Oh, one back. Important they came back after that technical with a positive reaction. And Gapet under some pressure here. I wonder how much he's feeling it. Gets a touch. Futko. Divis here. Not the cleanest of hits, but squeezes it through. Krvic out wide. Weissman's the hit. Again, it's all got a little scrappy in the last few points and exchanges. Once more, a real thermometer check of the nerves and tension in this hall.
Well, it's a dogfight, and I think a dogfight's going to suit Novosibirsk better than it is CUNEO. Big moment for the set coming up here. It's the Svetlana Sokolov serve.
It is Sokolov.
Well, you can tell by the cheer of the crowd just what that meant.
Creeping up to the business end of this set now. 18-16, the gaps start to mean something. You can see the end in sight. Still plenty of room for manoeuvre, things can happen, scores can change. Lokomotiv in the box seat. The Russians up here claiming in 10, or it did actually take a touch. The point will go to CUNEO. And again, just one break point here, and once more it's all square. Things can change so very quickly. Futko. That is hit very hard indeed.
But you have to go back to earlier in the point. Golubev has to take all of the plaudits for that one. I mean, takedown at the serve was outstanding from the libero. Gave them the opportunity. As a consequence, they find themselves in this position of authority. It's now the Nielsen serve as well. Can he buy them a little more breathing space?
Again, that big long run-up of his, huge high ball toss, hits hard, and Gapet's there. Krvic, Weissman's on the line. Perfect siding out. Dealt with that well because it was a decent serve. Plenty of venom in it. But Weissman's then, 18 points to 19. CUNEO set up here. Listen to the noise in here. And listen to it get louder, and it hits the net again. Highly disappointing.
Two big players and two big missed serves. De La Lunga comes on for Weissman's.
Yeah, good move. Good move. Weissman's can have a chat with his coach, have a rest a moment. Reflect on what's gone. De La Lunga with the experience. Helped see them over the line in the first set. Again, that's poor reception. And Gapet knocks over Nielsen. It was hit that hard. Again, it's not all about the top technical plays in this match. It's nerves, it's tension, and it's manifesting itself in big body blows of hits. Futko, oh, he's got himself in a mess. Trying to go for two. He can construct the attack again. And do so with perfect play.
Well, just the result that they were looking for there. I don't think he was actually trying to get it over in two. I think he just suddenly panicked and then turned it round and was kept alive. But because of the panic on the CUNEO side of the net as well, the opportunity represented itself. And when it did, they took it. Voronkov, who has just come on, will serve now.
Timeout. CUNEO calling them to the bench. Time for a think from Piazza. Again, it's still by no means lost this year. One side out, and again they have the chance. But they're having to fight for the first time in the game, really. First set, they just at that advantage, although it wasn't easy. Here they're involved in a real scrap. Lokomotiv really need this set. Not a disaster for CUNEO, but they want to keep the good momentum going. Of course, after being behind for much of this, John, if they do manage to overturn the score and pit them at the post, it's a huge psychological blow.
It would be, but I think this match looks as though it's like all of them preceding it at the final four, going to go to 1-1 after 2 sets.
Decent serve into Depandis, over on 2, that was close, and Grubic can be thankful for a little slice of luck there. Good serve.
Well, how important is that going to prove to be?
That could have been the set right there. Substitution reverse, Voronkov goes off. Andrea Rossi on in the wall. Float serve with Butko. They miss it. That is a big miss, and we said couple of errors, even just one error, and we're back level, 21 apiece. Suddenly, again, it's anybody's set.
Advantage is still with Novosibirsk, remember, as timeouts taken by them, because as long as we go side-out volleyball from here on in, they will have the first set point, but huge point coming up next. That was a big miss.
That is huge. One that they need to quickly get out their system. Good idea, they're 2 times out in hand, call them. Remember, both coaches still have one after this as well, so expect the game to be stopped whatever happens, at least another time. There's mileage still, even towards the end of this seesawing second set. Well, the stadium in Antwerp adding a little colour. Randomly shouting vodka. They might need some after this if it's going to go down and be turned around. Again, the float serve. 3 big men in the wall once more. There's the touch. Came off the hands of Ngapet, but Nielsen had enough on it. It's a side out, and Piazza's men, although level, go back to the drawing board to try and edge themselves ahead. First, they've got a side up. They're going to think about that. Butko it is to serve. Ngapet. Blocks. Wow. Well, CUNEO claim that's out. Second referee's down there. He gives the decision. Oh, the Italians aren't happy about this. Now then, let's have a look. It's hit. It's low. That's in. That is in all day long, and that's right in front of you, Signor Piazza. Huge point for Lokomotiv. That could be the set right there. Sokolov can shake his head all he wants. It's time-out time.
Well, that was the right decision, as you said, Rob. Definitely landing in. It was a massive block, coming at a vital juncture, and once again it's on the Butko serve. He's managed to get them some decent little runs together in the match so far.
So Piazza taking time out. Impressing in his first big tournament as a #1. The squad has only really come together though since that, at the time, a controversial expulsion of the bronze medal winning middle blocker at the Olympics, Gigi Mastrangelo. Squad's come round and worked well though. Obviously a disruptive force amongst them. The word is that he could well be on his way to Russia next year. Sokolov. Unlucky. Very, very unlucky for the Russian team. Sokolov forcing it through, but Nielsen was involved. Good Salyuk. Back comes Weissmans. Away goes Dore de la Lunga. And Ngapet to serve. And what is probably the most important serve that he's had to undertake in this match thus far. Floats it. It's a good one, a very good one indeed, and there's problems here. Counter-attack time, got to make it, and Gapet blocked wide though. Hugely important point for CUNEO. 2 times out of 2, they've come back from the dead in this set. Level yet again. Leonenko's going to come in. First time that we've seen him this weekend, in fact, not involved yesterday. Comes in to take the place of Marcus Nielsen. And Gapet on serve. Was clever. It's the serve that caused the problems. And now whoever wins this point is going to get a shot at the set. 23 each. Can't split them here in the final. It's a great serve as well. Superb bit of reception. Divis now takes the touch. And it will be Lokomotiv who will have set point chance. A golden opportunity to get straight back into the match. Super save at serving again, pardon me.
Divis, the man who's just earned them this point to serve. The last time he was at the service line, he went straight in the net.
That's decent though. Grubic needs to get on this. Weissman's blocks long. 24-24. Right level. Smile on the coach. Nielsen's back. So it's Zvetan Sokolov. We didn't see it on screen, but he kissed the ball as he usually does before he walked away. Big powerful bounces as well. Here comes the Bulgarian now. Putka having a set from a long way away. The problem's here. Oh, wow. Now, how on earth did CUNEO not defend that properly? Sokolov couldn't believe it.
Big disappointment for CUNEO there. What a great opportunity it was. As soon as Birikov went up.
The water bottle's gone flying as well out of his picture. Sokolov absolutely livid. Good salute goes. Number 11, Jilin, top server on the squad. In to try and serve home, set point and level up the final. Huge moment this. And Gapet, great control. Here's Weissman's now, but they're going to have a counter. Volvic doing the setting. Nielsen. Second chance for him, gets it. One set apiece here in Omsk. We have a European Cup final on our hands.
Nothing more than they deserve there, really. Novosibirsk sticking with it, and as they did yesterday, showing they have enormous character to come and fight back. And CUNEO, well, they had their chances. They fought back themselves in that set. They just allowed Novosibirsk some big points and some big moments of the set.
So, time for a breather. Go off, make a cup of tea, whatever you want to do. We'll be back in a moment. Set 3 coming up. So very warm welcome back to Omsk. Maybe joining us a little late. 1-1 between CUNEO and Lokomotiv. You're watching the final of the volleyball European Champions League. Another year of international club volleyball comes to an end. Middle of March, last year we're in Łódź. This time out, it is Central Asia. First time we've ever brought it to Asia. Now CUNEO attacking, making less errors. A couple of aces though from Novosibirsk, and digging in at the right moments and winning the big points help them to level things up. All to play for here. Certainly the home side that has the momentum and the support behind it, as you can see. Long, long way to go. Difficult to see which way it's going to go. Banca will start again. Budko. Biryukov. Long from him. Good Salyuk then. Lokomotiv trying to settle into set 3. Both clubs could be well advised to do that. Oh dear. Well, you're not going to settle if you make mistakes like that, and that coming from Svetan Sokolov. Again, if his guarantee disappears, then CUNEO really are in trouble. Delight for that man. Volvic, oh, that's good from Ngapet. Weissmans, did it take the touch? It did. So 3-2. Good to see the smile still from CUNEO. It's so important they enjoy the occasion here as well. Might be a way to take a little of the nerves away from it a bit. Here's Sokolov on serve, 3-2 CUNEO. Oh, well, what to forget from him.
Sokolov is just not on form at the moment. He heads off to the bench. He's looking really upset with himself. He's looking upset with his teammates. They are in front. Well, they were at least until then.
3 apiece then. August Nielsen, man who's made his way into the game. Superb in set 2. You've got the stats in front of you. Tell us a little bit in a moment about exactly how the percentages went. First of all, though, we're with Antonov. 4-3 CUNEO. Takedown is good from Biryukov. There's Nielsen, and that is too good for Grubic.
Yeah, Rob, just taking a look at the stats from that set, really interesting that Lokomotiv's reception went down to 26%. Both teams up at 35 and 36 respectively in the opening set, but CUNEO's down at 16% in that last set. Appalling reception from the Italians.
Biryukov. Blocked and blocked out, not just the reception. Everything just seems to be falling to pieces here for CUNEO. Lokomotiv yet to take real advantage as far as the scores are concerned in the last set. Still tight, and it's tight here. But the level is pretty disappointing. Heads down as well. Big change in body language from a couple of moments ago for CUNEO. Depandis. Good season for him last year in Latina. Butko. Divis. Makes it. Had the touch anyway, wouldn't have mattered. Early lead for Lokomotiv, and CUNEO are in trouble. Now that Weissman's fails. They had a good first set with Weissman's, good tournament. But at the moment, something is not right for CUNEO. Kudovic, blocked wide. Finally, exactly what CUNEO have been looking for. It's the side out. But they have work to do here. Butko puts it wide, Divis. And again, he's been big tonight. He has been huge.
So the first technical timeout, that Lucas Divis spike, the 27-year-old from Slovakia, of course, picking up a big moment to come up with another point, and he was very good in that last set as well. Only 40% in reception, but he managed to win 67% of his attack points. Biryakov 83%, 67 for Volvic as well, and Nielsen up at 71%. 75% from Sokolov, but he didn't feel that many, and Ungapet disappointing, down with 50% of attack points won.
So here we go again. Kuryakov, Golubev and company know that are in this game now. Big, big moments. Butko's led them beautifully well. Again, can be described as a little unlucky in the first set. CUNEO making sure that they impose themselves well. Volvic, good float serve. Depandis takes down, a long way to come for the setter though. Grubic, Sokolov, Volvic, great bit of digging. Divis, oh, it's unlucky for him. Off his body and down again. Back to within two, CUNEO. We're getting the big build-up there. They're just not at the races at the minute. Cohesion in the team just disappearing. Getting worse for CUNEO. 10 points to 6 now. Timeout, not a surprise at all, really. Big, big blocking there from Divis, who, for me, has been the big personality in this game so far.
He's certainly been one of the top performers so far from Novosibirsk, and they really are turning it on here. I think the crowd are beginning to almost feel as though there's a possibility that they might be able to do something.
Or do something they do at the minute. 10-6. Woodker. Down the line by Ngapet. Woodker to put wide. Nielsen, oh dear. Now then, are we looking at an important moment again? Nielsen with a big error here. Not entirely his doing, it wasn't great setting. But CUNEO pulled two back on the spin. Good to see the home crowd react so well, though. Putko. Nielsen. Blocked. Oh, 3 from 3. CUNEO stop to show their personality once more. Huge blocking in the corner. Not Nielsen's moment. Big test of his own character now. And it's all a little scrappy. Technique, not seemingly the most important thing in this match yet. Nothing wrong with that technique though from Divis. That'll please him. And just maintains his side advantage. Ngapet. You see what he was trying to do. You could see what he was trying to do. We've seen the tactic before. Load the wall with the big presence and make sure you get that serve in just under the net. 10-12 though. It's certainly looking a little more open than it did 4 or 5 minutes ago. Antonov. Here's Sokolov. Ah, that's poor, that's long. Difficult for any side to keep any momentum together here. It's almost as if there is too much at stake.
Well, the serving has been poor, very poor.
Certainly in contrast to the first set when CUNEO were excellent in that respect. Here's Nielsen. Can't improve the level for us all. Kudovic. Antonov enjoyed that. He's had a decent game when he's been involved in that opposite position, rotating alongside with Sokolov. It will be now Antonov to come in and take the serve. Back to within one. One more break point away from levelling this up now, CUNEO. Support for Lokomotiv absolutely unwavering here. Biryukov. Towards Ngapet, no surprise that he is the target of all receptions almost. You pile everything on him after the nerves he showed earlier on today. I'm sure they've watched the video as well on the DVD last night of yesterday's game.
Well, Ngapet with just 8% success rate on reception in set 2.
Surprised to see him come out and start this set. Really am. Volvic snatched that one out of the air. Saw a fissure in the gap in the wall. There's the set. Good change of the angle. Two men just can't come together. And that's well played. 15-13. Lokomotiv holding this well now. Grubic on 2.
Clever play. Such an experienced campaigner. 4th year with CUNEO, of course. Gold medalist in Sydney back in 2000 with Serbia. A couple of Italian championships. And he did win the Champions League with Trentino back in 2009.
Budko. Divis on the line. He's my man for MVP at the minute, Divis. A long way to go yet, but he is having an absolute cracker.
Yeah, storming performance from Divis so far, and I agree with you. I think he would be my MVP for this final so far. And on top of that, he's just produced consistency. And the interesting thing is, he's not overreacting when he wins a point now. He was absolutely screaming his head off every single time when he won a point in sets 1 and 2. Now, sort of par for the course. He expects it.
Into the game now, settled. Knows that there's a long, long way to go here. Grubic is the CUNEO setter, 39 years of age. Needs to show his experience. And once more, Sokolov. He can pick up his game. And the Italians aren't far off here. As we said before, on paper, I think they're the favourites. And the numbers aren't showing too much different, although Lokomotiv do seem to be exerting more control, just in the feel of the game and the look of it. But it is about the numbers, of course, and that's how they stand so far. 1 set all, 25-22, 24-26 at the minute. Second technical out of the way of set 3. We play on to the death here. 16-14 in favour of the home side. Oh well, won't want to remember that.
That shows you just how precarious the lead is.
Divis again on reception. Nielsen, nice. Good combinations. Divis almost perfect there with the reception. Budka hence had the good pass to play with. Nielsen did the rest. Divis with his float serve in towards Ngapet. Goes out wide and Ngapet is blocked. Jutisart rising high alongside Denis Biryukov. And it's going to be, I think, timeout ready to be called, or is it? No. Substitution first. Andrea Rossi will be in for Antonov. And CUNEO, the trouble is building for them. Divis again set it up with a serve. Grubic. Nicely down. CUNEO claim the point, they'll get it now. Budko, Biryukov forcing it through.
Solid play, side-out volleyball is all they need. 6 more points and they will have a 2-1 lead. They'll be up for the first time in this Final Four. Isn't that extraordinary to think of?
It certainly is. The way they came back yesterday. I wonder how they deal with that. They've done well playing as the underdog so far. The Pandis. Sokolov. So 17-19. So the first part of the recovery complete with the side out. Now they need a couple of breaks on serve here. Sokolov hoping to be the man to provide it.
Well, whatever happens in this final now, I don't think there's any way that Tsvetan Sokolov can be MVP.
Well, unless things change dramatically. I'm sure he'd settle with winning the trophy at the minute. Doesn't know what it's like to be on the end of a losing side in the Champions League final. Already a winner, of course. Big serve this for Antonov. Time and points running out in this set for CUNEO. It's a decent serve as well. It's posing plenty of problems. Budyakov going to have to hit well here. Now Grubic, control out wide of Weissmans. Now they might have something to build on.
Yeah, the scoreboard's gone wrong. It's 19-20, not 21-18.
Antonov again, looking to repeat. This time there is no repeat. Lokomotiv stick with their 2 points. (21-19). Budyakov. Good clever serving, and Mbappé gets her. That should go long, and that is a big, big serve at just the right moment. And guess who? Poor Elvan Gapet has got it all wrong. In that particular case, you have to say that the serve was pretty sublime. Timeout. Well, that's a chance for CUNEO. They've been well advised to get that one in and just hope that CUNEO would feel the weight of the pressure. Still 22-20. All has not been said yet in this third set. Bart Weissmans, CUNEO captain. Butko now, up wide, and Nielsen. Great bit of libero play from the Pandis. And Gapets. Huge point for CUNEO, and once more, nothing is one-sided in this match. Lokomotiv had 2 times out here, and they're going to take one now. No surprise to see Weissman's a little disappointed. That was clever coaching, waited and waited and waited. Gets the momentum going, gets the process going, gets the little routine of serve of the player into motion, and then just presses the button. Let's have a chat.
Well, this is certainly where you're going to see Andrei Voronkov earn his salt, because he has got to try and guide his charges through a Champions League final. He's never been in a Champions League final. He's never coached in a Champions League final. His players have never been in a Champions League final, and now he's got to try and keep them calm in this position. Try and let them know it's no different to last year's Russian Cup final. Just a different opposition, that's all.
Yeah, of course, last year they got the better of Zenit. Their first victory against them in the sweetest, I'm sure, this season yesterday after 3 defeats. There's Divis, who takes down again, sublime on reception. And nothing wrong with the spiking either.
Yeah, the only thing he's got to work on is his landing, by the looks of things.
Almost hurt himself there. It was worth it though, look at that. Łukasz Divis, as Dore de la Lunga comes in. Voronkov as well. And Voronkov will take on serve. (23-21). Lokomotiv Novosibirsk close to overturning a 1-set deficit here to go 2-1 up. It's a mighty serve, nicely taken down, and Gapet with a chance, blocked. Comes back to Grubic. Well, he was never going to set that, was he?
That is where he is so lethal. He has such a good eye for the game. (23-22). Good shot, and that will be 2 opportunities to go ahead in the match. Once again, Butko with the perfect set. He's remained an oasis of calm whilst all around him are just getting that little bit more tense, and now he serves the first of these set points.
There is Butko. Quick service action of his. Is Grubic now. Ngapet. First is sided out. I remember the last set we went close, 26-24. It's a fairly similar atmosphere building up here. I would say that CUNEO played worse in this set though.
I think they have. Grubic is to serve it, to try and bring it back to 24-all.
Needs to make this. Counter chance. Here we go. Divis. Nielsen now. Gets his pass, gets his touch. They have the set, it's 2-1. And wow, great story developing in the heart of Siberia. The local team, in inverted commas, from almost 700 kilometers away, beating the team that's traveled all the way from Italy by 2-1. And it's just a single set away from claiming the European Cup for the first time in its history. Lokomotiv Novosibirsk lead this Champions League final by 2-1. Oh, whilst the dancers are strutting their stuff, teams will swap over. We'll go and have a look at a few highlights, show you some stats, and we'll be back with the next set in just a couple of minutes' time. and this is the scene here in Omsk, the local ice hockey arena. Used to the ice-cold battle. A few punches thrown on the ice. Only metaphoric punches thrown here this evening here in the European Champions League volleyball final. Blow after blow of hard-hitting stuff we've had for 3 sets. Not the most flowing of volleyball matches, but certainly given everything that's at stake, we've seen 3 sets of competitive stuff between CUNEO and Novosibirsk. Stats on your screen.
The interesting thing to note from the statistics is that in every set so far, the team that's managed to get an ace or more has managed to win the set. 2 aces to CUNEO in the first set, they won it. 2 aces to Novosibirsk in the second, they took that one, and 1 ace to Novosibirsk in the third set, they took that. So that is the current state of play. CUNEO, I don't know whether I can see them battling back from being down by 2 sets to 1. It is a big test of character for this Italian team. Tool, remember, between Italian and Russians in the finals. It's an ace to kick it off. That is the dream start.
Divi's at it again, and once more on his way to that MVP nomination, you feel. All depends when the nominations were given in fact. Everybody has to vote, of course. Grbic. Nice bit of play by the Slovakian. Nielsen down. It's the foreign stars today who are doing the business for Lokomotiv. Nielsen. Depandis. Nielsen. And once more does the job. I know some of you have been in touch on Twitter regarding the likes of Nielsen and Divi, saying that yes, they've played in finals before. Of course, we know that, but they haven't been representing a team that's hosting for the very first time the Champions League final. This is a region that's never had an event like this. So without doubt, the biggest game of their careers so far.
Well, such a massive game for them, and such a massive game for that man and his CUNEO charges as well.
Here's Ngapet, the Frenchman. I'm afraid there are rather predictable stories developing as far as he's concerned. Coach Piazza, plenty of faith in him, perhaps not enough faith in the replacement to change things around a little. Antonov cuts the ball cross court. Budko pointing to the ball, saying it was in, trying to diffuse the situation as coaches say there's a little too much talking on there. Budko in. Rare miss. One of again as well for Biryukov. 3 points all. Still plenty of work to be done. Not over yet. Zvetan Sokolov. Biryukov this time gets it perfectly right and wheels away in celebration.
Well, it's on the reception again. The CUNEO are being let down 15%. They slipped a further percent in that last set. So 16% in set 2, 15% in set 3. It's all going horribly wrong, whilst their opponents back up at 35%. Novosibirsk in that last set.
Well, Japan is at 25% excellent. I'm afraid for Libero that is not good enough, and we get another demonstration right there of what's happening. CUNEO again collapsing around their reception. We mentioned Ngapet in the last set. Yeah, he crept up to 11%, but that is very, very, very poor for a wing spiker. It's the libero, though, down at 25% that you really have to worry about. And of course, that's a position they're not going to change. They can't. Novosibirsk have to keep on serving well. If they do here, the game surely theirs 3-1. Depanis does take down. Weissman's giving the ball away. And this is a collapse of monumental proportions here from CUNEO. The coach knows that. He presses the buzzer and, of course, whiffs his boys straight away. Arms open, shrugging. What the heck is going on? That's what exactly he has to be saying.
Well, the concern is most definitely for Roberto Piazza, because he at the moment doesn't seem to have any ability on turning things around, and his players don't look as though they want to turn things around particularly. They're still sluggish out there.
All advantage to those in green and red. The Blues being cheered on by those solitary 9 Blue Brothers Brigade. They might start to wish that they'd stayed in Moscow instead of making the trip down here to Siberia. We must say a word of congratulations, though, and hat off to them. That really is supportership. I'm sure it's at no modest cost either to get here. I know it's not cheap. It really has to be appreciated, their support. 6-4 as the coach struggles to get his message through. Piazza. Ace. The arena goes briefly quiet. Good work by Antonov. In the best service since the opening set or so for the Blues. CUNEO need more, though. Budko. Nielsen. Again, worked his way into the match. Really is starring as well now. (7-5). Biryukov again to go. The pan is down well this time. Weissman's. That's more like it from CUNEO. Much more like what we want to see. Certainly what the Italian fans would like to see. Budko. Difficult set to make. Nielsen, and that was always going to be hard work. The wall had to be there, though, had to do its job. Kudos to CUNEO. Are we seeing the seeds sown? And to use a well-worn cliche, some green shoots of recovery.
Well, I have to wait and see. Talking about the experience, at least on that Novosibirsk side with their foreign imports. Both Nielsen and Davis have been in Champions League finals before.
Technical then.
So Lukas Divic, who is looking at the moment possibly one of the favourites to win MVP here, did win an award when he played in his Champions League final with Friedrichshafen back in 2007, won the award for Best Receiver. Doing pretty well on reception at the moment as well. Only being bested by Gustalyuk in that last set, but that was Gustalyuk's one reception. So Divic is doing his job out there. But CUNEO have found a way back. even though it is Lokomotiv who lead 8-7 at that first technical.
All tied again after a very, very strong start once more from Lokomotiv at the start of this set. Still get the feeling that they're in control to a certain extent. CUNEO need to force the issue. And they do. Killed onto very, very nicely by Gribic, one of the most experienced setters in the business. Butko. Blocked. Yet again. Sokolov and Ngapet celebrating together. Just starting to get a bit of momentum together again. The good feeling starting to return, and that means that they could be starting to pose some danger again to the opposition. Lokomotiv want to keep an eye on that.
An important spike, that one. Back to 9 points apiece. CUNEO here, though. Everything really has changed after that timeout taken by Piazza early on in this set. Very much better frame of mind being adopted by the majority of them.
They might have just had a good old-fashioned telling off. That's out. Davies up there alongside Gutsalyuk. Good recovery for CUNEO after a poor piece of reception. Butko. Blocked. Got to go again here. Patience required. And that's the benefit of having it. No panic from Butko. Send it up again. Construct the play once more. Waterfall down in front of the block. Soft hands, very soft hands on the set. Sokolov, as soon as it left the setter's hands, was hitting it towards.
Body language just completely changed for CUNEO. There seems to be a bit more belief out there. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ngapet get this in.
Nielsen, oh, blocked. And now there is a clear momentum switch and change. Lokomotiv, who now must dig deep. That's why we love this game. Looked dead and out and buried just 5 minutes ago. And once again, the game has a completely different look to it. 12-10, CUNEO in charge by 2 as Ngapet serves. Butko out wide, Bidyukov. Weissmans takes the softly approach. Weissmans again. Good, strong defense. Now there's a chance to counter. Bidyukov gets it.
Massive point for Novosibirsk. They needed that. They were looking there as though they were going to fall behind by a further point. Somehow kept alive. Butko's athleticism outstanding as he flung himself on the floor, and then they get the wipe off the block. And it is 11-12.
Good Salyuk then. Well, 5 minutes ago, when the nerves were still jangling, that might have been a very, very useful serve. Play it deep, make them play. Confidence has returned to CUNEO. They were happy to leave that. You see the Lokomotiv fans. Very loud indeed. Big pass. Butko. Russian chance coming now. Bidyukov this time gets it wrong. Blocked very, very nicely by Weissmans over in the corner. 14-11 now. And a serious advantage developing. Something to think about for the Lokomotiv fans. Timeout taken. And Novosibirsk have things to think about themselves. So just under a quarter of an hour into this set 4. Budko through the middle. Could be finished off by Volvic. But he can block.
Well, that's another hugely important point because it was another opportunity to CUNEO. Weissmans has been blocked off twice now in recent attacks.
Good strong serving from Nielsen, posing a question. And getting a block. Lokomotiv benefiting from that timeout. 2 from 2. Once again, sea change of momentum.
This has been a real seesaw set, hasn't it? Very hard to tell where the momentum lies.
Great blocking by Yukov there. Lovely reach, super timing in the hands. Stayed strong as well. Added to his high hang time. There's Marcus Nielsen now. Powerful serve. Knocked Stepanis off his perch. But it's Stepanis and a solid reaction. Who keeps it going? He's coached like that. High five time for him. More to think about for Lokomotiv. Big intervention at a big moment that by Stepanis. Now, Oleg Antonov. Blocked. Budko has to watch here. Gotta go. With the set. Needs a good touch from Nielsen. Budko. Time to rescue. Biryukov. Wow. Super point. Novosibirsk back in the game.
And I can tell you that Evan Ungapet is furious out there. He was going for the reception. And I'm not sure which player it was who took the ball out of his hands, but he was coming forward and it would have been far easier for him to bump the pass across to the setter as it was. That's an opportunity missed again from CUNEO. And temper's a little frayed.
One way to win back the point, just knock your opponent over. 16-14 then, second technical. CUNEO in charge, but just about. And as this game has shown us so far today, do not make too many predictions because it's difficult to see what's going to happen.
Well, Piazza is still extraordinarily animated during this technical timeout. No set has been decided by more than 3 points. That was the first set that CUNEO won 25-22. The other 2 sets has just been the 2-point margin. That's how tight it is out here. We expected this to be a close encounter. Perhaps not this close, though. Novosibirsk not out of this set yet. CUNEO, though, slight favourites to take it, and if they could, well, we would be going into a tiebreaker for the 3rd time in 4 matches, and that shows you just the level of competition at this year's Final Four in the Men's CEV Champions League.
the stadium announcer doing his best to whip up the support for Novosibirsk. Not as if it's been lacking so far anyway. Wonderful atmosphere all weekend long. Again, if you're going to make the 640-kilometre journey by train on the Trans-Siberian Express, you might as well make some noise when you get here. Here's Bart Weismans for CUNEO. Putko out wide for Divis. Classy cut down the line. Beautiful stuff from the Slovakia. Off strolls Bart Weismans. Difficult setting. Nicely done by Grubic and hammered home through the middle. A simple side out, just takes the sting out of it really for CUNEO. Here's Kohut. Putko. Straight down, straight through. Gutsalyuk enjoyed that one, grins away. Looking over the net at Svetan Sokolov. Putko to serve, so tight here. Nice way to respond by Ngapet. And they still believe. Despite the fact that a quick turnaround could see them out of the match. Andrea Rossi is in. On replaces Oleg Antonov. Quick conversation with Ngapet there. Plans are being made. Putko now comes in one-handed setting. Chance for a counter though. Good block defense. Here's Ngapet, and that is a big point for CUNEO. That is huge.
Well, he's been up and down, hasn't he, Ngapet, throughout this match, but that point, it gives them a 3-point advantage. Another substitution to be made.
Leonenko comes on for Nielsen. Swede has his chance for a sit down of a moment. Putko. Good high setting, and that's clever play. CUNEO looking good here. Breakpoint did it. 20 points to 16, and it's looking increasingly like we're going to a decider in an attempt to stop and reverse that momentum. Lokomotiv take their second time out of the set.
Well, different body language on the two different benches at the moment is plain to see. CUNEO pumped. It's going to be very hard for the Lokomotiv Novosibirsk team to raise themselves to a breaker if we do indeed go into a breaker.
Well, it looks like that will be the case. Certainly a battle of wills more than a battle of technique at the moment. And it's been like that all day long, really. All weekend when you count yesterday. Zenit really didn't bring their A game. Muscled out by their compatriots from Siberia. Putko. Good touching. Still going though. And Ngapet up in the corner. It's come off his body. And it will be a point to Lokomotiv, who side out the ball.
But that's just a side out. That's going to be the slightly concerning thing for there. Great work from Grubic to keep it alive. And on that occasion, the block doing its job. Divis to serve.
Great serve. Absolutely wonderful serve. Nothing the bandits could do about that. That's an absolute exocet from Divis. Service fault. Off goes Torre de la Lunga. Time to see Wout Weismann's the captain back for CUNEO. 3 points they lead here in a set they must win to keep the Champions League challenge alive.
Now Davies is pumped again.
Oh, this is going to make it very interesting at the end of this set. Quick turnaround here from the house, and there could be carnage.
That's 2 faults on serve from Lokomotiv towards the business end of this set. Only 3 points required by CUNEO now to take this into a breaker.
Hard to pardon that sort of basic error. Sokolov sends it over. Butko. Missed effort by the middle. Chance to come back. Weismann's and CUNEO are on their way to force a tiebreak now.
Well, they're pretty much home and hosed, you'd have to say.
Going the distance. Antonov back. Rossi over to stand in the sub box. 23-19. Sokolov on serve. Decent serve, testing the libero. Butko going wide. Biryukov with a miss. And plenty of set points. A whole sack of them, in fact, for CUNEO. 5 chances to win it. Sokolov goes through his usual ritual. Turns, stands on the line, spins the ball, bounces it. And in the meantime, Marcus Nielsen returns. And Leonenko goes and has a sit down.
It's going to be the biggest margin of victory in a set so far. But it's not going to be settled 25-19 because Sokolov puts that one long.
Well, difficult to see them not siding out in 5. Marcus Nielsen, one of the top men today.
Yeah, he certainly has stood out. On this occasion, though, he can't make it count. Serves into the net. And so it is in to a decider. We go 25-20, the score to CUNEO in that set. And for the 3rd time in 4 days, as I was saying earlier, the match is going to be decided by a breaker.
The race to 15 to find out the winner. Just as we had last year of the European Champions League. In Łódź, it was between Zenit Kazan and Skradil Tohol. Here, whoever wins, we're going to have a new name on the trophy. The blue of CUNEO, or the green of Lokomotiv Novosibirsk. We'll be back in a minute. Tune in to find out. So 2 sets all. Ace count won by Novosibirsk in that set, although they were downed by CUNEO. More attacks than the Italians, plenty more errors from them as well, but they just edged their Russian opponents in the kill blocks. Tie break on our way. We've had big blows, we've had hard hits, some very interesting physical battles at the net with, again, that's involved plenty of power instead of just raw technique. It's been a strange old Champions League final, but then again, as I said right at the top of the broadcast, it's been a strange old year. A lot of firsts, a lot of new things happening. And in the next 15 minutes or so, we're going to find out who will be the winners and the Kings of Europe for 2013. Lokomotiv of Slovakia, former Champions League winner. This time trying to win it for a Russian club. Lokomotiv to serve first. First to 15, 2 clear points. Let's see how they get on. Nielsen. Nicely down. That's a side out straight away. It was hard work as well. Now, Job, interested to see what happens with the momentum here. CUNEO taking that last set to level it up at 2-2.
Yeah, it's a really tricky one to know because Novosibirsk, you would feel, should feed off the crowd, the atmosphere that's being generated here, and yet it definitely is CUNEO with their tails up. Novosibirsk need to be careful here, not to fall behind by a break early on as Sokolov serves.
Budko pushes up for Nielsen, touch off the block, and so important that they got the foothold in this set as well. No team wants to stop badly in a breaker. Makes it almost impossible to recover.
Well, if you thought it was possible, CUNEO actually managed to slide to 13% on reception in that last set.
Gift. Oh, great blocking by Nielsen. That's wonderful. Budko. And that is a point that perhaps is deserving of the trophy on its own. Marcus Nielsen with a wonderful piece of play. That was the end of it, but it all stemmed from the unlikely block. Good Salyuk now to serve.
Oh, that's clinical.
He's been good again today, good Salyuk. Always looks like he's carrying a couple of extra kilos to me, though.
That's what you say to me all the time.
I mean it when I say it to you. I wouldn't say it to his face. 2-2 here. Here's Budko. Backcourt attack, Kovalevich making no mistake. Nielsen then started this set brilliantly. Epandis takes down. Nice reply, Sokolov waiting to pounce from the backcourt on the opposite side.
Yeah, Sokolov certainly improved throughout set number 4, and he's beginning to show some of his real class out there at the moment. Val Weissmans will serve now. It's 3 points all. It's tight. It's what we wanted to see.
Weissmans amongst a cacophony of noise. Thought he might have just squeezed that one in. Up go the referee's arms, though, to signify out. Relief for that man. His team lead by 4 points to 3. 2 sets all in the final of the Champions League. After 10:30 in the evening here. Crowd not going, no. They want to see this. Epandis. Big block, and what a moment to bring it. First lead in this 5th set. is for Lokomotiv Novosibirsk.
You just look there on his book coat, and he stands 1.98 m tall, the setter. Made such a difference at the Olympics. Is he going to make a difference in the Champions League final? Touch on that.
Needed to make it as well. Butko. Long chase here. Oh, and that would have been a complicated one. Advertising hoardings in the way. A few of the journalists unhappy about being unseated as well.
Back to 5-all though. Big point, that one for CUNEO.
Still life in this. Butko. Big pump of the arm, cross court. Kahut can't get there. Volvic will go to take serve in a businessman-like pose. Butko and the rest away. 6-5. Not what he wanted, not what anybody, apart from the 9 Italian fans in this arena wanted.
So Volvic disappointed there. 6-all. Remember, we change ends when one team gets to 8.
Butko.
Well, Divi's coming up with the goods again there, and that was a really tricky spike for him because he was coming from behind the attack line. Still, the block couldn't be deflected in change, with Antonov being replaced by Rossi.
So Rossi coming into that 4-2 defense formation. Sokolov and Rossi, the advanced men. Just about saved. Gutsalyuk, a maze of bodies. Nielsen with the hit. Absolutely loving it. What a big man in the big points.
Oh, one could almost say he's been the difference between the two sides.
So at the changeover, 8-6 Lokomotiv back with that 2-point gap. Well, it's there that are asking the questions. CUNEO have already come back from one deficit. Now they have to do it again. Rise of Loko from the crowd. It's their captain now, Butko, on the serve. Good take by Ngapet, Grubic. Sokolov, he is denied. Gutsalyuk putting up the no entry sign. 9-6, and now we have a clear length between the two teams.
Unsurprisingly, Roberto Piazza calls for the first time out of this breaker. 3 points the difference. Piazza needs to, well, bring out the defibrillator really for his team, because they need to be brought back to life. They are very, very close to being knocked out of this gold medal matchup. They've come so far. They were a set-up. They fought back to 2 sets apiece, but now it is the team in green, the home team, who have the advantage. 3 points their cushion at the moment.
Well, as it stands, the Champions League trophy is staying in Russia, but will be moving from Tatarstan to Siberia. Zenit relinquished their grip on it yesterday by being beaten in the semi in the Russian derby. The Italians hoping to take it back to Central Europe are going to face an uphill task in the last few minutes of this game. Butko, float serving towards Dipandis. Grubic now out wide. Sokolov down the line, on the line. And that is what must be described as a vital side out if CUNEO are to pull off the comeback here.
Well, they need Ungapet to step up to the mark. He has fluctuated throughout this final.
Takes the pace off the ball. Divis can't side out. Chance for a comeback here. Weissman's blocked. Grubic on the ball. And Gapet misses. No touch. They cannot believe it. The Italians screaming at the referee. Milan Labasta of the Czech Republic has a difficult job today. He's going to call the captain over now. Now then, touch or no touch? Oh, I think there was. That is an awful decision. One that has gone against Sokolov, gone against CUNEO, and could well cost them the Champions League. We saw it 12 months ago in the very last point.
That's what
we really have to bring this challenge system in. Not good to see it divided by like.
It is important to say that the challenge system wouldn't deal with a touch, with the trial system that was being used in Istanbul. So it wouldn't necessarily have made a difference there, but it's one of the men of the moment so far as the match is concerned there. Nielsen, he'll have known it touched him as well.
Out wide, good target blocked. Now then, they get the decision that they wanted, added to that block. We're talking 1 point difference, we're talking level.
Yeah, but they can't think like that. You've just got to play with what the numbers are on the board. It's 9-10. Sokolov needs another big serve.
Timeout, and very good call by the coach of Lokomotiv Novosibirsk. Andrei Voronkov calls them in. Conversation time. Ten points to 9, 12 minutes into this breakup. Novosibirsk lead. They had a 3-point lead. CUNEO storming back. Sokolov on serve. Nielsen. And here's the big chance for the Italians. Grubic through the middle, and it's a big point for Kohut. 10 points all now. And a huge change and shift in how this looks.
It's 10 points all. It's Sokolov on serve again. The crowd once again dig deep to try and lift their team.
Take by Divis. Biryukov. Blocked, but the wrong side as far as CUNEO are concerned. Huge side out. And we're about to get Voronkov on to serve. Good Salyuk will rotate off onto the sub box. And Voronkov, with family ties, of course, to the coach. 11-10. This is tight, this is tense. And Gapet flying from the backcourt. No mistake can be afforded by any team now. Here you make a mistake and it's very likely you lose a game. Not a place for those who are affected by nerves. As Voronkov comes off.
Well, Antonov managed an ace in the 4th set. Can he get one now? Yeah.
Close.
He was over the line at the back of the court anyway.
Kribic psychologically doing some damage there, just telling the opposition anyway it was in. You've got to watch that. Don't get too nervous. Here's Nielsen now. The child cry, ace, ace, that's what they want. Doesn't provide it yet. Weissmans, but they get the block, the place explodes, and that is the point, perhaps, that could make the difference. 13-11. Huge. Timeout coming. For the second and final time, CUNEO call their boys into the bench. They need a plan, they need it now. It's almost over.
Oh, Weissman's frustrated. Put so much power into that. The block had to be perfect, it was.
So we return. No more timeouts left for CUNEO. Lokomotiv have one left in the armory. Not sure they're going to need it. We shall see. Marcus Nielsen, the man who's done all the fifth set damage. The Swede on the serve, looking to put the pain of previous loss at this level behind him. Blocked off, got to go again here to Pandis. Big pass needed to be made. Here's Butko, here's the chance, Bidyukov blocked. DV still going to get another to go. Bidyukov! 3 match point chances, 3 championship chances, and 3 Champions League opportunities to lift the trophy on home soil. Straight through the middle of the block, and Lokomotiv have made a breakthrough. 14-11, and a chance to serve for the win. Just checking on the rotation. Marcus Nielsen yet again. He is the man. This is his time, and history is about to be made. Nielsen serves, goes just long. So, spare a thought for Weissmans here. Has to serve tough, and has to serve in. No mistakes allowed. Oh, wow, that was close, that was close. That's an ace, that is an ace. Great spot for the referee.
That was an appalling call by the line judge. That landed well inside the line.
Worth remembering that the line judges are supplied by Russia. And that's not something we like to see from them.
No, that was disappointing because that was clearly in.
Walks off out of your pitch and tries to look a little anonymous. Laughs and smiles about it, which again isn't good. In the meantime, Novosibirsk have another obstacle. Just one side out here. Keep it simple, guys. In the meantime, Weissmans will attempt to serve another ace. Yet another twist in the tail of this one. It's not over yet. The CUNEO captain with another heap of responsibility on his shoulders. Float serve this time. Butko in. Bidyukov, oh wow! Plenty to go yet. That is a huge block.
It all set up for Bidyukov. All he needed to get was the touch off the block, and CUNEO have come back from the brink. 3 championship points down. But Weissmans has got them out of trouble here. What can he do now?
Divis this time. Bidyukov, another match point chance. This time they'll have it off serve. 15-14. Substitution. In comes Dore de la Lunga, gets his final piece of advice from Wout Weismans, who we may not see again in this final.
Very surprised to see Weismans go for the float serve on that occasion. Once they were back, he may as well have gone for the big gun. Bidyukov.
And Gapet. Gubic, big one this, down the line, kept alive though, great libero play. Bidyukov needs to be kept, and Gapet, there's the block, and there it is! Novosibirsk, European champions! A match packed with emotion, a final full of drama. 5 sets it was again, 16-14. And well, after an epic, take a deep breath. If you're a Russian volleyball fan, enjoy this moment, because your country, your league has retained the European Cup. For Italy, it's commiserations. An epic effort, a difficult, deep digging match has ended with Divis winning for the second time in Europe. Butko, in a matter of months, winning another gold medal after his Olympic triumph. Voronkov, a champion of Europe, and the city of Novosibirsk, who's moved a couple of thousand of its people over to Omsk for this weekend, winners of the biggest prize in European club volleyball. John, an evening to remember.
Oh, absolutely, Robin. Unbelievable climax to the final. 3 match points saved by CUNEO, and still, in my opinion, a poor decision by Wout Weismans to go for another float serve, because they had plenty of time to set up, and the dummy runners worked on that occasion, and it was an easy side out for Novosibirsk. And then what a block to take the title. Butko has been outstanding, leading from the front as ever. What a performance from him. And also, well, Divis and Nielsen stood out from that team. The Russians pick up their 3rd in 6 years, their title in 6 years, that is, and they are the dominant force at the moment in men's volleyball. They are the Olympic champions, and for the 2nd year in a row, it is a Russian club who are the European champions. Quite outstanding.
Well, thanks for that, John. And thanks to all of you who've watched us from October onwards here on the CV Champions League. We hope you're going to join us in the autumn when we'll all start again. For now, though, we shall leave you with images of a victorious volleyball team. Lokomotiv Novosibirsk, champions of Europe. I've been Rob Hatch with Jonathan Harrispass. We'll see you again next year.
Увлекательное зрелище. Еще раз повторяю, что, дамы и господа, через несколько минут начнется церемония награждения и закрытия мужского финала 4 Лиги чемпионов 2013 года Европейской конфедерации волейбола. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated. We will shortly begin awarding the gold to 2013 CV Volleyball Champion League Men's Final Four. Просьба еще раз